the party is starting to self-recognize that it cannot retain itself as one cohesive party anymore, you know? Like, that's essentially the issue. Because, like, what you have are, let's paint them broadly. Actually, hold on, let's do this. Crap. Wait, is this, my stream deck isn't working. God damn it. All right. So basically, like, what we have right now are essentially two kinds of Republicans in the Republican Party. We have, like, the McConnell Republicans, who, broadly speaking, are going to be the kinds of people who are terrible, but are smart enough to be able to know, like, how to be able to navigate the political system to achieve the goals that they want, namely, like, maximizing their personal profit at the expense of voters, right? Like, that's ultimately the end goal for a lot of, like, more establishment, like the McConnell Republicans, right? Contrarily, they also are beginning to recognize that there are Republicans in the party who do not want to do that. And these are the Marjorie Taylor Greens. And what's this fucker's name? I can't even remember what this guy's name is. Madison Cawthorn? Yeah. Other people include, Ted Cruz is starting to become this person. You have Matt Gaetz. Yeah, Madison Cawthorn. Yeah, we got there. You have Tom Cotton to some extent. Republican Fash. I mean, like, kinda. I mean, like, I'm not sure if we want to call it fash. Like, we probably could. We could probably adequately define. Like, we could certainly define Trump as doing certain fascist things. Riley says that she won't bash Republicans. Annapolis goes on to say that Republicans are made of two shitty things, McConnell or Marjorie Taylor. I think that they're representative of two major archetypes of Republicans. I think that the idea that, like, there is a moderate Republican that doesn't fall into one of these is something that a lot of people want to believe, but which is not actually representative at the national level or the federal level. I think you might be able to find that at, like, the state level. Like, I think that that's, like, at least based on my personal experience working in Annapolis, like, those are people who exist there. Like, I can buy that. I can believe that. I cannot believe in good faith that there are many, if any, of those people in federal government at this point. So, like, I think it's important to recognize right now that, like, the party essentially, at least at the federal level, has these two different kinds of Republicans, and they're trying to figure out what to do with that. They're in a little bit of a bind. It's not great because they have very competing interests, you know? One of them wants to maintain the status quo because the status quo, it's such built that they're able to milk their voters to be able to pass policy, which is able to benefit the people who support them, which is in turn going to end up in more money in their pockets, right? Like, that goes to their personal financial interests. Whereas, like, Marjorie Taylor Greene and all those people do not care about that. They believe in fucking Jewish space lasers causing fires in California and the QAnon and a lot of crazy shit. And so, like, it makes sense when, I'm not sure if y'all saw this, Mitch McConnell said that, that Marjorie Taylor Greene was a cancer on the Republican Party. Like, that's the reason why, is because she throws, like, a giant wrench into this whole operation. And the people who support Marjorie Taylor Greene probably like her for that. So, like, this is my hot take. I think that she's going to try and split the party, or at least, like, her actions inadvertently will try to push the party to do so. And the party will have to figure out, essentially, this central question of, okay, so you have Marjorie Taylor Greene, who is representative of this very far-right conspiracy theory, neo-Nazi, whatever, group of Republican voters, conservative voters. How much of the total Republican/conservative base do those people comprise? You know? Like, basically, like, how much out of the total number of people in the Republican voter base are those people who support Marjorie Taylor Greene? Because, like, the last time I checked, hold on, how many followers does she have on Twitter? This is really important. This is important context. Marjorie. 348K. That's a lot. That's a lot. Now, it's not, like, up in the million, but, like, for someone who literally just became relevant, like, within the past couple months, there's a lot, all right? And so what I think is that a lot of Republicans are basically trying to figure out this game of chicken, right? Or no, they're trying to play this game of chicken, where essentially it's like, okay, so she's a problem. She's trying to change the party. We don't know how much of the party she has on her side right now. So we can run this risk of trying to excise her from the party. But we have to kind of bet that we have more of the base on our side and that we're not going to cause a split if we do. Like, that's the game of chicken, right? Because if they lose, then they either end up splitting the party or losing their supporters or both. And that's why you see a lot of people, like, even in the vote to remove her from the committees, I think only 11 Republicans out of the entirety of the Congress actually voted to remove her. Like, I want you to think about that. How many hold on. There's another question. We gotta do some research. How many Republicans are in the House? Yep. 211 Republicans. 11 out of, so that means that 200 Republicans voted either abstained or voted to not have her removed from her committee positions. Like, now mind you, I don't want to say that that every Republican is like a QAnoner or agrees with all of her views. I think that they're essentially all doing this internal calculus that we're talking about right now, you know? Like, they're all trying to figure out, okay, if we're going to kick her out, do we know it's not going to come back and bite us in the butt? That's literally it. That's literally the entirety of the calculus. I don't know what they're going to do, but just to give you all an idea, like, that's basically what I think is going on in their heads. Cool. Okay. Back to gaming.